emerging from the pandemic, there are a few lessons that we have to take with us. One of them is symbiosis, that we are all interconnected. And we saw that through COVID. If I am sick, you are sick. And if you thrive, I thrive. And so the systems that are in place are actually what have never been built for Black and brown children, whether it's economic systems or education systems. And so while a child might be able to navigate a broken system, it isn't because they themselves are exceptional. It is because the opportunity gap, not the achievement gap, the opportunity gap has been closed for them, right? And so this is a moment where we need to realize the exquisite design of racism is everywhere. And so we have to look with a laser focus on all of these systems right now, not on race agnostic policies, but really on anti-racist policies so that we don't feel like only the exceptional make it through. But the systems are actually there to serve Black and brown children, especially in the city of Detroit, and are built around them. And that's why I'm so excited to have these partners on the stage, because they're so thoughtful in creating these approaches.
I believe there's this huge opportunity for employers to be part of the solution, and we are so fortunate in Detroit to have, groups of employers like the Mayor's Workforce Development Board and Business Leaders of Michigan and the CEO Roundtable, and we are able to engage employers directly about what they need, so that when we talk about post-secondary success and we start to back that up into what does that mean for K12 solutions, we're able to pull back or pull forward, or however you want to think about it, what employers are going to need, what they know they need, what we project they might need. Getting that into the conversation early and often is going to be one of the key elements of any solution we design.
The first thing to do is what most of us in this room did when we were young thinking about college, is start a college-going culture. The reality is you have to think about yourself in college from an early age and almost have an expectation about that for yourself. And if you don't have that, you're trying to build a college-going culture while you start. So it's engaging high schools, mostly through dual enrollment or early college programs, where high school students can go to their local community college, and for the state allotment that the state gives that school district, for that student to have a high school experience, they can take that money and go to the local community college and earn college credit and start to get a college-going culture. And we're proud that over 2,200 students on our campus now, whether virtual or on ground, are from high schools. But the truth is, we have to convince the business community that this is an imperative, 60 by 30. It's rare we have a political agreement on this, but the reason why we have this rare opportunity is because we look around the country and people with more college credentials have more income. And every single societal issue after that is better.
We have to also take accountability in higher education, like about K12. Too many people say, well, it's K12 isn't achieving. We created a College of Urban Education about 7 years ago, but we did it quite differently, a master's degree, and we changed it with diversity and inclusion in the curriculum, data analytics in the curriculum, weekly coaching. And there have been double-digit increases in teacher effectiveness. And in fact, students did better in math and reading than the rest of the school district. And so we're creating an undergraduate of urban education. And it's going to be a STEM undergraduate, starts next fall, in science, in math, in technology. And this weekly coaching, they'll be like the nursing model, they'll be into the K-12 schools immediately and learning. And so when they get to us, and that was your original question, many of them are first-generation students. And so we have about 30% of our students are students of color, 40% are first generation, and we've been doing a peer mentoring. And we found that the students who come to us who don't use peer mentoring retain at a 69%. But the ones who come to us and do peer mentoring, first generation students, retain at 91%. And they don't have the guidance, they're smart. And these students are smart in the school systems. But we have to dramatically change how we do, how we prepare teachers. And it's easy, we have to be more accountable in higher education.
So much of success in college starts so much earlier.
Right.
And so it has to do with kindergarten readiness and third grade reading levels It has to do with after-school programming, which is so critical in terms of thinking beyond the world around you. And so there are these mile markers that are nationally recognized that lead to being able to, once you get into college, have success. But I would also say that there are other things that are beyond those mile markers, and at Skillman Foundation, some of the things that we've been investing in are systemic hacks, like principals. Principals are change agents within the school community. They're often overburdened and under-resourced. And so, Leadership Detroit is a program that's part of the chamber. I would posit that every leadership development program should have principals as part of it, because they manage this ecosystem that's extremely complicated. Another systemic hack is having Black teachers. And there have been researchers from Johns Hopkins that have found that a Black child that is exposed to a Black teacher is much more likely, 13% more likely, to go on to college and graduate. A Black child that is exposed to 2 or more teachers is 32% more likely to go on to college and graduate. So there are things that are beyond just building supports to get through a system that, again, is a broken system that isn't meant for our children. But those are some places where we can invest.